AITA for asking my roommate to keep her cat in her bedroom? I am not Oop. Oop is you, Banana Pudding Kit. She posted in r, Am I the Asshole? Since this story is about cats. Your daily fun fact to prevent spoilers on mobile is about cats. Cats' jaws can only move up and down, not side to side. They also do not have grinding teeth like us humans. These things are due to them being meat eaters and not omnivores. Mood spoiler. Hopeful. Less than. Original post. January 23, 2023. I, 24F. Live with my girlfriend, 25F. And a roommate, 23F. We share a 2-bedroom apartment and have lived together for 2 years now. Up until now, we have gotten along pretty well. My roommate has an elderly cat. The cat is honestly kinda mean. She doesn't like me or my girlfriend and will run away if we try to pet her or pick her up. So we just avoid each other. My roommate asked if we had cats prior to moving in because she said her cat doesn't like other cats. We did not have any pets at the time, so it worked out. We did tell her that we might want one someday, to which she said we would have to revisit the issue if it came up. Well, my girlfriend and I have gotten to a place where we really want a pet of our own. We saw a kitten at the shelter and just fell in love with him. We got the okay from our landlord and brought him home last week. His name is Banana Pudding. Our roommate is furious with us. She told us that we were aware that her cat doesn't like other cats. I told her honestly that it's unfair for us to have to tiptoe around her cat and that we were allowed to have our own pets as long as the landlord is okay with it. Which he is. She couldn't expect us to never get a pet or to cater to her cat's needs 24/7. The conversation ended there. Unfortunately, things have escalated because her cat hisses and swats at Banana Pudding just for existing. She is honestly pretty aggressive, which is a big issue. Our kitten is very friendly and sweet and causes no problems. We asked our roommate that she keep her cat in her bedroom since she's elderly and aggressive. She refused and hasn't been speaking to us. She says we are huge ahs and even got some mutual friends to take her side. I personally think that if her cat is so aggressive and uncomfortable, it's her responsibility to live alone. It's gotten so bad that my girlfriend is crying and considering taking the kitten back to the shelter. So here I am to get an outside perspective because I DK what to think now. Relevant comments. Did you even talk to your roommate? So we did tell her that we saw a kitten at the shelter and even sent a pic of him. But the adoption itself was kinda spontaneous, so we didn't ever sit down and have a full convo about it. Even if we did, she likely would have just told us no. Because I mean, what other solution is there in this situation? One of us was gonna end up upset. Older cat was there first and you need to figure out a solution for your cat. Can I ask why it's not her responsibility to find a solution since her cat is the one with the behavioral issue? Our kitten isn't the one hissing and being mean. Quote, move out. Thanks for your input. The reason we can't move out is 1. We cannot afford to break our lease, and 2. This apartment is a really good deal and many others in the area are too expensive for us. Otherwise we would definitely have considered moving out. If you can't afford to move out, how can you afford a cat? Yes, we can afford the cat. Just not a $300 increase in monthly rent. And before you ask, we can also cover emergency vet costs and have pet insurance. Quote, we can afford the cat. IDK where you're not seeing the difference in a $3,600 permanent increase in rent, which is the lowest possible increase BTW. The next cheapest apartment, versus possible healthcare costs that can be put on payment plans thanks to our credit and the vet we see and may be covered by insurance. We have free accommodation for the cat if we travel. And we don't really travel. And we already paid the pet deposit fee plus pet rent to cover any possible damages. We are not getting rid of the cat. I appreciate the concern, but I promise you, we would never allow our kitten to suffer with a health issue. If for some reason we absolutely 100% could not afford to treat him, which again we are willing to do payment plans if need be and have pet insurance, we would find someone who could. Thanks to the insurance, most checkups and other simple stuff is covered. We also obviously have savings that can be used in an emergency. We also have savings that can cover emergencies. We won't go into debt from a single medical emergency, prescription food, etc. Plus most normal vet visits and such are covered by the pet insurance anyways. Not many people can afford a sudden $5,000 plus bill up front. But if we have the means to pay for it and are willing to get the cat medical care, I don't see the issue. Our cat will not go without medical care. More comments from Oop on next steps and realizing she is wrong. Lots of advice from commenters too. I am listening to everyone's input. I just wanted to share my reasoning. People have been very clear that I'm in the wrong here, lol. My roommate is unwilling to keep her cat in her room, period. She says the cat deserves to roam and will meow and scratch at the door. You are correct, and it was presumptuous and selfish of me to assume she could or should have to. We all get a really good deal at this apartment, so we are hoping to make things work. My roommate just got home and we are talking things out. I have apologized and we are going to do proper introductions for both kitties. Oh, I would never ask for her to declaw her cat. I know it's cruel and painful. Thank you for the helpful advice, especially about older kitties. I was very ignorant and assumed it was a behavioral problem when in reality she's probably just scared and wants space. I mean, I'd be a little pissed too if a random baby showed up in my house. I've never had cats before, so I am not familiar with their body language. I've only really had experience with dogs and they weren't even mine. I probably did come on a little too strong, which is why the older cat doesn't like me. I am going to apologize for everything you mentioned and ask my roommate to help with a proper introduction where our kitten will be in the bedroom, not hers. I am also going to see if she can teach me a little about her cat and how to read her body language better, so maybe we can get along more. Thank you for being kind and for the recommendations. Quote, thank you for the suggestion. I do have family who would be willing to house Pudding if it ends up not working out while we figure out a different living situation. My roommate is willing to talk, so I'm hoping we can at least try to make this work. We're gonna have a convo once she's home from work. Oop is resoundingly voted YTA. Updates. Same post. 6 hours later. Edit. So I am definitely the op. The comments have really helped me to understand that my roommate's cat is just acting well, like a cat. I am willing to admit I was ignorant and impulsive. I have never had a pet before and should have done more research before jumping into pet ownership. I plan to sincerely apologize to my roommate. She is willing to talk once she gets home from work. I am going to see if she's willing to try a proper introduction for both kitties and Banana Pudding. We'll be staying in our room for the duration while her kitty will be able to roam. I am hopeful that things will work out, and I want to thank everyone for being blunt and educating me. I was impulsive and inconsiderate, but my roommate is a great person and I think she will forgive us and be willing to try to make it work. Edit number 2. Roommate and I have talked. I apologized to her for being selfish, ignorant, and for putting her cat in an uncomfortable situation. She forgave me and said she'd be happy to help do a proper introduction between the kitties. She said that if we do things slowly and carefully, her cat might be able to accept Banana Pudding. For now, our kitten will be staying in our room for the introduction process. She also taught me a little bit about cat body language and guys. Her cat came and sat in my lap. She even purred. My roommate is a very kind and forgiving person, and I'm very thankful that she chose to forgive me. After I was such a huge awe to her, she played with banana pudding and gave me some cat food recommendations. I think things are gonna work out. Thanks everyone for your advice and criticism. Relevant comment. So her cat generally keeps to herself, and I didn't feel super comfy interacting with her because of that. The few times I did interact with her, she was, understandably, uncomfortable since I didn't know what I was doing. I took it as a sign that we should just leave each other alone, and my roommate often mentioned that her cat is a grouchy old lady and likes to keep to herself. It was never an issue or anything since the cat usually just did her own thing. Tonight my roommate took the time to sit with me and had me hand-feed her cat her fav treats. I think her being there also made her cat feel more comfy with me. Either way, I was beyond shocked that her cat came up to me and sat in my lap. It was great. I think my roommate was equally surprised, tbh lol. Been living with a cat for 2 years and doesn't know anything about cats? I'm glad things seem like they're working out, but wow, I cannot imagine adopting a pet without even considering how it will affect the lives of the people who live with you. She will run away if we try to pet her or pick her up. Tell me you've never interacted with a cat. Without telling me you've never interacted with a cat. That was incredibly irresponsible from Oop. That's not how you introduce a kitten to an older cat. Cats are not humans and won't react to baby like a human does. In fact, the way she talks about the elder cat makes it clear that she hasn't even bothered to understand how cats work and just saw her as a breathing plush to pet. For the sake of the kitten, I hope she listens every single word from her roommate. Oop acting like they are 16, not 25. Sheesh. Disrespecting the roommate boundaries was bad enough, but the worst thing here is they didn't consider how their decision would affect the old cat and the new kitten. If you really care about cats, you don't interpret the elderly cat needs as a behavioral problem. As if she was mean for no reason. You don't adopt a new cat because you fell in love with him. It's stupid and irresponsible. My solution to being popular with cats is being allergic to them. They seem to recognize this inherent weakness in me and flock to me as if I were made of catnip. Adorable murderers trying to kill me lol. That said, Oop is crazy. Like many people, getting a pet without doing the research. It's deeply irresponsible to get an animal without knowing what it needs to be healthy and happy. You know Op is an asshole because they never paid their cat tax. Joking aside, I'm glad she's learning more about cats. My jaw was on the floor reading her expectations for the elderly cat and how she approached pet ownership. Fingers crossed she becomes a better pet owner. I don't understand why Oop decided to adopt a cat in the first place. They were already living with a cat, and they avoided interacting with said cat because they found it to be a negative experience. Because they don't understand cats, having never been around them. So, what on earth possessed them to go out and look for cat for themselves? As someone who works for a cat welfare organization, this was infuriating to read. What an awe. So the cat was mean because it was acting like a cat and did not like to be touched or picked up by random person. Oop. And then, this cat was supposed to live in a bedroom because Oop and the GF, who have no clue about cats, decided to get a kitten. I saw the original and I am still baffled at it taking 2 years of living with a cat before asking how to be around cats. Like, why would not make any attempts? She also lives in the house? I'm happy Oop. while initially a total ass, is open to criticism and trying to work out the problem. That's nice to see. I hate the name banana pudding with a fiery passion. I want to know how TF2 people with no experience with pets were able to walk in, get a kitten, and walk out. In my experience, shelters make you supply all kinds of info about experience, the home, any other pets, etc. Even when getting a cat. Did these two just lie about there being another cat in the home? BC they went in wanting a kitten while under the impression there was a hostile, elderly cat already in their home and the shelter was like, this is fine? I'm glad OOP finally understood the cat was just being a cat and educated themselves, but I wanna know what that shelter was thinking, lol. Oh yeah, this one made me angry. Capital A and all. And I can never have a cat because I'm allergic, lol. OOP got absolutely torn to shreds on that AITA post. And rightly so. Especially since their early comments were all very argumentative and selfish. I happen to think it doesn't bode well for Kitty's future if OOP is as impulsive, ignorant and thoughtless as displayed in her posts. But we'll see, I guess. This made me really sad. Didn't introduce them properly. Demanded that the older cat be kept in a room. Sheesh. So many mistakes. I feel for the other roommate. She just wants to do right for her baby. Even if her baby is a grouchy old lady. I get it. 2 of my cats are grouchy old ladies. And I do tell people to leave the gray tabby alone. She's not mean, she just doesn't want to put up with someone who isn't her mama. But I'm okay with people thinking she's mean so she can live her best life on her terms. I remember reading this one when it was posted. Can't remember if I commented about the Jackson Galaxy vids on YouTube or not for them for the introduction stuff. Just hope that they are taking their time with introductions so both the older gal and Pudding can get along. Still don't understand the impulse buying of the kitten. Especially if you've never had a cat before though. A pet isn't something that you can just pick ill and put away like a toy. Unbelievable. I feel for both those cats. Op is so stupid. I've never had a cat but I hate this cat for acting how it normally behaves. Anyway, I just bought my own cat. Quote, maybe don't buy animals just BC they look cute. And definitely don't put your new animal that you didn't discuss above an established pet. PSA. Cats and dogs can be reactive to other animals. They are animals. Should have done a meet and greet before bringing another animal in the home.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.